Good evening, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now digital news update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT digital studio. Let's go ahead and get right into some top and trending stories nationwide and here in the East. Former North Carolina Governor Pat McCrory is expected to announce he's running for U.S. Senate this week. McCrory, a Republican, would join Representative Mark Walker in the primary race for the seat of Senator Richard Burr. In December of 2019, McCrory announced he wouldn't run for governor in 2020. At the end of 2019, a poll showed McCrory had a double-digit lead over Lieutenant Governor Dan Forest in the gubernatorial race. The one-term governor previously lost to Governor Roy Cooper in an re-election bid in 2016. Carteret County will host their last COVID-19 vaccination clinic on April 30th. Due to a decrease in appointments being scheduled through the call center, the clinic will allow continuing appointments until the end of the month. Those 16 and older who still wish to receive a vaccine can make an appointment by calling 252-728-8550 and selecting option 2. Well, the single-dose shot of Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine has been getting a lot of attention recently for its side effects. Now officials say Pfizer and Moderna may also cause serious side effects too. Digital reporter Judith Retina from CBS 17 in Raleigh breaks down all three vaccines and compares them to see which is more likely to cause a reaction.
Doctors say all three COVID-19 vaccines on the market are safe.
Serious side effects are exceptionally rare here. That's the key point.
Like any vaccine, they each have the ability to cause a severe side effect.
I think this is something that should encourage us to push on, knowing that we're looking really carefully at how people are responding.
In North Carolina, there are close to 1,300 reports of severe reactions. The Pfizer vaccine accounts for more than half of those. Johnson & Johnson, the lowest.
We need to counsel people to say, look, hey, if you've had problems with vaccines before, let us know. But that this should in no way dissuade people from continuing to follow up and try and get the vaccine.
There are cases of people going to the hospital after a vaccine. Most of those patients received Pfizer shots.
If your nearest vaccine station is offering J&J or yours is offering Moderna or whichever, I don't truthfully mind, and I recommend to all of my patients that whichever one they have the easiest access to is the right choice for them.
Dr. Wolf says not to let this information get in the way of getting protected as soon as you can.
They are safe and they are what we should be doing. And that's for all of us.
An update on the Virginia officers seen in this video during a traffic stop and some cool smartphone hacks to keep you all on top of the things you manage each and every day. That and more coming up after this short break.
Weather can happen day or night. When the weather changes, and it can be abrupt, we want to be that reliable team that says
we work together to make sure that everyone gets the best, most up-to-date, accurate forecast that we all can possibly give them.
We're not looking to cry wolf here. We're looking to inform. We're looking to keep people safe and in a relaxed, calm manner.
I think it's very important that we keep a message that doesn't frighten, it informs.
Storm Team 9, keeping you safe in severe weather.
Thanks so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in the WNCT digital studio, bringing you some evening updates. WNCT is bringing you live streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscasts. Let's get back into some top and trending news stories. The latest update on a viral video out of Virginia. 2 police officers accused of using excessive force and not following police procedures while conducting a traffic stop. The 2 officers pulled over U.S. Army 2nd Lieutenant Caron Nazario. The officers are accused of pointing their guns at Nazario, who is Black and Latino, and using slang terms to suggest he was facing execution. Nazario was also pepper sprayed and knocked to the ground by the officers. Since the incident, Nazario has filed a lawsuit against both officers earlier this month. One of the 2 officers involved have been fired following an internal investigation into the incident. Virginia Governor Ralph Northam took to Twitter to personally invite Nazario to meet with him to contribute to the larger dialogue about reform in the country. Now, mental health has been something many people have been talking about in recent years. In fact, 1 in 5 Americans struggle with it, according to the CDC. When it comes to the impact of one's profession, that can have a big impact on their mental health, and some feel that there's one that often gets left out of the conversation. Our sister station in Bismarck, North Dakota, tells us how local hairstylists are building confidence and opening up that conversation.
Yes, I do hair, but I also am a psychiatrist, a therapist, a fashion trendsetter for a lot of my clients.
Hairstylists spend their days doing hair, but also talking with people about their lives. As they build relationships with clients, things can get pretty personal.
As you have 3, 4, 5, 6 people in a day, sometimes you're so happy with your customer because they're pregnant, and the next one comes in, their mom is dying, and they're so sad.
Clara Trottier, owner of Hair Concepts, tells us there are many layers beyond the ones they cut.
You actually need a lot of education to be able to navigate through both the social skill aspect and the skill level portion of it.
So should there be more resources available to help hair professionals navigate through these sometimes hairy conversations?
In hair school, I feel it's kind of the basics and the chemistry. I think mental health is such a big thing in this time of our lives right now, especially everything with the pandemic going on, that we just maybe need a little assistance in learning how to cope with some of those things and offering words of advice and comfort.
It's hard not to open yourself up to them, and so in turn they obviously open themselves up to you. So it just becomes a friendship very easily. To go home and tell my husband and vent about this happened and I'm just so sad, and maybe not even sleep at night because you're sad for them.
Melissa Hurt, who has been seeing the same stylist for 8 years, tells us it's all about being comfortable.
You're spending a significant amount of time with them and then over the course of years. So yeah, it's definitely a relationship that's unique.
Because we're on such a personal level too.
I think it's when you trust someone, you just have to keep coming back.
Stylists at the salon say that while it can at times be challenging, they love what they do.
The good days definitely outweigh the bad days.
For KX News, I'm Andy Ani.
People have been using social media and technology over the past year more than ever before, and there are some smartphone hacks that can make your life just a little bit easier, especially as we continue to work from home and social distance. Our sister station in Los Angeles shows us 3 ways to expand the functionality of your smartphone camera.
The best part about our smartphones is how you can download an app and completely change their functionality. Today I'm showing you 3 apps that help you do more with your phone's camera. Got a stack of papers you've been meaning to scan? Google's latest experimental app called Stack can digitize them in seconds. Just aim the app at a document and it will create a clean PDF version. Even better, it automatically organizes everything into stacks, like bills, banking, medical, and more. Need to find something later? Just search any keyword in the document. Stack is free for Android. Teachers and other remote presenters will love an app called Overviewer.
It is a very virtual Zoom version of the overhead projectors that I at least grew up with using all the time.
Inspired by his wife's remote teaching kindergarten, the free iOS app turns your iPad or iPhone camera into an overhead viewer for Zoom.
It'll show whatever your camera sees. So if you have it mounted, you can point your phone down at a piece of paper and you can show what you're writing.
Pair Overviewer with a holder like 12 South's Hoverbar Duo, and you have an easy way to share over video.
It seems like it's found a niche of people who find it really useful, and so it just makes me really happy.
Finally, digitize old pictures with PhotoScan by Google Photos. The app takes several pictures of your photo and merges them for a glare-free digital copy. PhotoScan is free for iOS and Android. All of these apps are super useful for making life easier, and the best part, they're free. If you'd like to learn more about them or that holder I showed you, go to my website. It is richontech.tv. I'm Rich DeMuro, and you are Tech Smart.
Well, that is going to wrap up this WNCT Now Evening News Update. Of course, we have more news coming up for you tonight on our broadcast at 5, 6, 10, and 11. So be sure and stay tuned for that for even more top and trending stories nationwide and here in the East. Thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your Monday.